The real test of decluttering isn't just about how it works for you, but how it holds up with the rest of the humans in your house. Let me show you what this looks like in real life. Before we tackle this final frontier, let's take a moment to celebrate. Look how far you've come. You've changed your self-talk around clutter. You've introduced a new technique for making clearing clutter your new default behavior. You've kept it up for at least a week, maybe even 2. You've reframed the word no in order to let it support your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. And you've created the structures and rhythms that actually make your decluttering attempts stick. At which point, the serenity prayer comes to mind. Accept what I cannot change what I cannot accept, and have the wisdom to know the difference. The truth is, you are probably not spawning a family of little Marie Kondos. You have to let other people come to Jesus in their own time. But there are 2 important things that you can do right now. Number 1, ritualize the routine. The human lint roller is fun. Pick a time when the whole family is together, like after dinner, and teach them how it's done. Put on music, make dessert, movies, screen time, whatever, a way to celebrate after you spend this time together. Number 2, spotlight the differences. Create physical boundaries that say, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. This is something that I've done in the past. I've taken the entire clutter pile that was not mine from the corner and moved it to a central location, someplace where you will trip on it if you're not careful. You might say something like, I'm decluttering the office and I thought it would be easier for you to rescue the things that you want to keep from going to the Goodwill if you could see them a little more clearly. Is this passive aggressive? It doesn't have to be. Give people some warning. Mention the new era that is descending on your household. If the pile stays here for a few days, it's time to ramp it up. Get a transparent plastic bin. Place the pile inside the bin. Move the bin to a very egregious central location, like the dining room table. Let them know I'll be taking this to the basement/attic/Goodwill on this date, and then put a little piece of paper on it with that date. Heading to Goodwill on March 15th. So that's good for stuff that isn't really in daily use, and you know half of it just needs to go. But what about the things that do get used but are used so often that they never get put away? Well, here's what I do when clothes and other regular items start to pile up on my partner's dresser. I'm not going to put them away for him, of course. I use a technique called the man hamper, also known as the mamper. It's just a separate hamper dedicated to whatever piles he creates, and I set it right next to the dresser. So the thing is, clutter feels natural in a chaotic environment. Once you start making that environment less chaotic, you need to also isolate the things that no longer fit. Make it obvious, like a place where you could trip over it, or very visible, like putting it in a transparent bin. You can create a place where all the orphaned items around the house end up in a central location. When the chaos versus clarity is obvious, the discomfort is just begging to be resolved. And this is what it looks like post-declutter. Daily life has less chaos. The habit of decluttering kicks in automatically without having to set an alarm because it's just obvious now. Orphaned objects stick out like a sore thumb. There's no more of this, tomorrow's the day that I tackle X, and then keep putting it off for one more day, and then one more day, and then one more day. Anytime you can declutter a little area, it's not a zero-sum game anymore. You don't have to do all of it at once in order to feel some relief, because you can trust yourself to know that you have a way to keep this clutter at bay no matter what comes up. At this point, you know that it's a marathon, not a sprint, and you can stop trying to fix something in a week that actually took years to create. You stop trying to solve nervous system trauma responses with threats of discipline and shame. And now the habits that you've created for yourself have now spilled over into family rituals. So now you've done a 180 with clutter. You've got your family on board, and your home is starting to become that peaceful oasis that you've always longed for. But sustaining it, that's what I unlock in my course. And I'm going to tell you all about it in the next video.